Welcome to Veranda IAS. In this session, Indian Economy Foundation, we are going to analyze the preliminary exam question paper. So, here I want to discuss how to approach the prelims question paper. Generally, in GS paper 1, that is, in our first paper, we have 100 questions. Each question carry 2 marks. So, totally we will be writing the paper for 200 marks. Okay. So, what is the general cutoff? If you see the general cutoff, it will be varying from 95 to 105. Okay. So, this is a cutoff. So, while you are preparing, we should always keep in mind, so how to achieve this 95 to 105 marks in our examination. So, first let us see, in case if the question paper is easy, it is medium or difficult. In case if the question paper is so easy, okay, you will be able to attempt 50 to 60 questions, okay, if it is very easy. And in case if the question paper is very medium, you will be able to attempt 45 to 50 questions. And in case if it is very difficult, from 35 to 45, you can be able to attempt the number of questions, okay. So, in this case, if all the questions of probability is going right, also you will be getting around 100 to 120 marks. Okay, this is marks and this is number of questions. So, you will be getting 100 to 120, and here you will be getting around 90 to 100 marks, and if it is very difficult, you will be getting around 70 to 90 marks. But a general cutoff is 95 to 100 marks. Okay, just always keep this as an anchor point. Whenever you are attempting, it is not that all the questions whichever you are attempting is going to come correct, isn't it? So, again, if even here, if a 10 to 15 question goes wrong, okay, remaining you will be having is around 45. Okay, so in a similar way, already here the cutoff mark is very less, isn't it? So, if any question goes wrong in this also, you will be falling short of the cutoff marks. Okay, so when you are attempting preliminary examination, you should always keep in mind, it's not that you should attend questions whichever you know, but you should always have the capacity to guess the right answer as well. In the first session, I have shown you, even without studying few questions, how we can approach the prelims paper, isn't it? So, you should have a very good observation capacity of what is happening around you. Okay, so now let us see, in case, let us take another example. If the question is asked and you don't know that question, okay, you have 3 options: statement 1, statement 1 and statement 2 and statement 3. Based on that, you need to select option A, B, C and D. Okay, so you need to select 4 options in this, isn't it? So, in this situation, if you can eliminate even one option and you know only 3, you should go and select this answer. Okay, so don't stop yourself because just you eliminated only one answer and still you don't know which option to select between these 3. Okay, here, because in earlier case, you will have a probability of getting that answer is 1 by 4. But by eliminating one option, your probability of answering this question becomes 1 by 3 and probability of it becoming correct also becomes 1 by 3. So, by selecting any one option, your answer might probably go right, isn't it? Similar way, in case if you are answering 10 questions, take an example, 10 questions you don't know and you are trying to answer 10 questions. In that, if 5 questions goes correct and 5 questions go wrong, here for the positive you will be getting on 10 marks, and if the questions go wrong, in UPSC we have negative marking as well, so we will be losing 1 by 3rd of the mark out of it. So, on a total we will be getting it here around some 6 marks. Okay, so you will be getting around 6 marks here. So, if you have missed these 10 questions, what is the outcome? The outcome is 0. But by using this elimination technique, that is, even if you don't know one, say if you have eliminated one option, but still you have 3 options, if you select any one option among this, and you will be able to gain around 6 mark out of it. Okay, so just never stop yourself that you don't know this question or you have never learnt it. So, if you are a serious aspirant and you are preparing consistently for 1 year, around 90 to 95 questions will be from the topics that you have studied. Okay, but the probability of you knowing that question differs from 45 to 50 or 60. Okay, whenever the probability differs, just don't stop yourself from attempting that question. Attempt that question and try to increase your score. Okay, so how you need to apply this in the examination hall? directly don't go and apply this method in your final examination. Every week try to solve one question paper, and in that question paper try to analyze your positives and negatives. Accordingly you can gain more marks. Okay, so now let's analyze the previous year few questions also in this session. Here if you see, in the first question is, in the context of India, which of the following factors is our contributor or contributors to reducing the risk of currency crisis? Okay, so economy means it's completely application oriented, we have discussed that a lot. So here again they are asking, for reducing the risk of currency crisis, what you should do? Okay, so here you should have a clarity on the concept of what is currency crisis. For in this sector I want to explain what is currency crisis. The currency crisis is like how much of foreign exchange that you have for the expenditure, okay, for the at the government's disposal is called as currency crisis. In case if the government is having very less foreign currency, then it is called as currency crisis. Okay, so the foreign currency earnings of India's IT sector, that is, if the foreign currency earnings of India's IT sector, it only leads to increase in foreign currency. So when it becomes a crisis, when we have less foreign currency only, it becomes crisis. So the first option can be easily eliminated, isn't it? Next is increasing the government expenditure. When we increase the government expenditure, what happens? The foreign currency decreases, isn't it? So obviously second one leads to foreign currency crisis. Okay. Next, third thing is remittances from India's abroad. Through remittances, what is maybe remittances? The earning of the labor from the abroad is called as remittances. So through this also again our foreign currency reserve increases. So only through 2 the foreign currency crisis getting reduced, isn't it? So if we eliminate option 2, option 1 and 3 will be the answer. So again I am trying to say here, have concept clarity on whatever topics you are studying in the economy. Okay, for this question the answer is statement 1 and 3. So now let's get into the next question. Question 2, that is with reference to India's 5-year plans, which of the following statements are correct? Okay, so if you see this question, it can be completely answered from the what you have studied. So this is the chapter, there will be few questions that will be directly asked from what we have studied. Okay, so this is one such question. So because I don't want to give false hope that without studying you can attend the question, it is not like that. For every understanding you need to have some basic concept clarity. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say here. The next is, which one of the following is not the most likely measure of the government or RBI that takes to stop the slide of the Indian rupee? Again it is a previous year question paper. If you see, this question is asked in 2019. Okay, it is a current affairs based question. Again it is completely application oriented, so you need to keep a watch on what is happening around you. And there is one more question in similar way. If you see, let's see this as well. Consider the following statement. This question was asked in 2018, and why this question asked us? It is asked about edible oil, because that year we were facing edible oil crisis in India. So that's why this question is asked. So if you take the question paper, none of the questions in the question paper is asked like as they say everything under the sun is asked. It is not like that. Whichever is asked in current affairs and whichever is topic is facing some issue is around it, only such kind of topics are asked. And here if you see, not just edible oil basics are asked, even that application like what is the issue, that is directly asked. Okay, even if you have followed newspaper for 1 or 2 months very regularly, you can answer this question. Okay. Next is again, India enacted the Geographical Indication of Goods, that is Registration and Protection Act 1999, in order to comply with the obligations too. So why this act has been enacted? Okay, this is a very important topic, that is from world organizations. Again the answer is WTO. Okay, so very simple questions are also asked. Once you understand the WTO, you will understand why this act has came into picture. As I earlier said, World Trade Organization is WTO, isn't it? If you see here again, the act is called as Geographical Indication of Goods. Why we will give geographical indication to a particular good? So from by reading the term you are able to understand they are giving some indications to some particular geographical goods. Why they will give? Okay, it is given mainly to promote the trade, isn't it? So again here you can eliminate 2 options. One is ILO, that is International Labour Organization, and again you can eliminate IMF. So only 2 options you will be left with. One is UNCTAD, again it is a trade related organization, and again you will be left with WTO. So in this case, again you have chance of getting this answer becomes 50%. Okay. Next, which one of the following statements correctly describes the meaning of legal tender money? Okay. So here I want to say one thing, that is this question is asked in 2018. Okay. Why this question is asked is because in 2016 end, okay, that is 2016, end of the year 2016, we had demonetization. So that time there is a lot of huge debate on what is legal tender money, and all these terms were seen in newspaper very often. Okay. Generally UPSC have this tendency. If this news in 2016, that is in 17, this question may not be asked that year, but in next year they generally ask this question. So the current affairs part, that whatever we are saying, follow it for next next 1 year only, it is not that actually. Even you should have the understanding of the past events. Okay. But in newspaper, generally how to cover this last 1 year's current affairs. If you see every day when you read newspaper of 2018, in case if you are preparing in the year 2018, anyhow we would have covered the 2017 to 2018 current affairs, isn't it? As examination is conducted in June or April. So, but the 2016 news, how to cover it? As you are studying the newspaper consistently for an year, the continuation of the 2016 updates will also there in the newspaper. Even though it is not covered in the magazines of any current affairs that you are reading, but studying newspaper is very important, and it's primarily source for your current affairs. Okay. So that's what I wanted to show it here. And let's go to the next question. Again, an increase in the bank rate generally indicates that the this question has been asked in prelims 2013. Okay. As I said, the banking sector is very important. Okay. Every year it is mandatory a question is asked from banking, and in banking they don't ask something like you need to prepare like very high level. It is not like that. It's very basics, and what is application is basic application is asked in this question. Just by understanding this foundation session itself, you will be able to answer lot of questions that we have seen right now. So thank you guys, we have come to the end of the session. So in the session we have seen, if 100 questions are given to you in preliminary paper, how you need to attempt those questions and how you need to approach those questions. And moreover, here we have seen various years previous preliminary question paper. So before you starting any preparation, kindly please go through the previous year question, and after completing the topic, again go to previous year question. You might think why I am repeating this point from the beginning of the preparation until now the sessions I am speaking only about previous year question, because generally many people study this, take this preparation for very long years. Okay. But when you know what to study and how to study, you can crack this exam in the first year. I just want you guys to crack this exam in the initial attempt and have a fruitful life. That's why. Thank you so much.